Hello! Welcome to White Tarot, where the reader is bubbly, but the readings can get dark. So, today I am going to be working on the September General Energy Check-in for... Who's next? Who is next? I should probably think about this stuff before I hit record, huh? Let's see. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. Okay, let's get into the Aquarius September General Energy Check-in. What you up to? Wow, this one did a spinny spin. The Hanged Man, different perspective. The Emperor. Not sure why I heard Sovereign when I pulled that one. Nope. Daughter of Cups. Six of Cups. Four of Cups. Four of Cups is my card of letting an opportunity pass. Six of Cups is about nostalgia or something deeply embedded into your roots as a human being. Ooh, sneaky, sneaky. Seven of Cups slid out from behind death. Death is about death and rebirth, changing, growing on a fundamental level. Oh, more sneaky, sneaky. Seven of Swords. Sneaky. Betrayal. Ace of Swords. Truth. Interesting. Okay, let me scooch this over. Okay, that's it. Father of Wands and Three of Wands. Embarking on a new journey. Interesting. All right, let's start with the Alchemy deck. I'm going to pull two. Pull top one from here. Separation. Flip over this one. Calcification. Okay. First, let's see what calcification is here for. Heat, fire, desire. Calcinatio is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there is enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. How does calcinatio begin? With a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame. On a psychic level, this stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. The transformation that occurs from calcinatio is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. Well, it looks like I've finally gotten through to you. Because what have my previous Aquarius readings been about? Maybe it was an overindulgence in the woo-woo shit. Separation, differentiation, divide, to cut away. Separatio is the great alchemical operation of the sword. It occurs when It occurs when substances are pulled apart for their higher good, either willingly or unwillingly. The fissure may take place suddenly with a swift blow of the axe, or slowly over time with a dull blade. No matter how separatio occurs, it will likely be a painful process for all involved. Images of swords and knives, battles, rebellion, breakups, divorce, and atom splitting are expressions of separatio. The good news is that separatio prepares the individual for a more conscious union down the line. It releases stagnant energy and allows the parts to see themselves as individuals. This stage is a prerequisite for conjunctio, union, love. Through the pain of separation, we come to accept and love ourselves as we truly are, and in turn, we love the world. Aquarius, y'all are, I know Taurus is a fixed sign, but y'all are fixed AF. Not to call you out or anything, but looking at the tarot also, and I think that those were some pretty straightforward messages. I don't need to explain any further. Otherwise, I will start yelling. We have the Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective. The Emperor. I heard Sovereign when I pulled this one. And that is because when I pulled this card before, I asked the question, who are you when you are alone? The Emperor is depicted as the divine counterpart to the Empress. The Emperor is also about tradition, being stuck in his ways. Then we have the Daughter of Cups. So it looks like there is, the way I'm visualizing it is just a little squiggle, like an amoeba of feeling finally appearing in your chest. I think the last reading I was yelling at you, less feely or less thinky, more feely. Looks like you're starting to feel. And it has something to do with nostalgia, something from the past, something deeply embedded in your roots. Four of Cups is about letting opportunity pass, because it's typically depicted as a guy with like three cups sitting around him and then a fourth cup just floating in front of his face, and he's got his eyes closed. Then we have the Father of Wands, which is action, swift action. And the Three of Wands, which is about embarking on a new journey. Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, and Death indicates to me that there is a truth that is coming to light in your world. Ace of Swords, that's going to require you or prompt you, or hopefully make you cut something out. Because the problem here is what I'm seeing is a pattern of codependency. Don't ask me why I know that. Probably because the Emperor is here. He's depicted as the divine counterpart to someone else. But when I pull him, I hear, who are you when you are alone? Maybe there's a part of you that always identified yourself with who you were with. Maybe you were the type of person that kind of treated your partners like a status symbol. But the standards to which you were holding those people were inauthentic, because you were operating from a mind place, not a heart place. And maybe you're finally starting to recognize that when you tap into your heart, you find something very different than what your mind says you should want. Seeing things from a new perspective, the Hanged Man. And when you uncover this truth about yourself, it may put you in a whole tailspin of an identity crisis. But sometimes those are necessary so that we can check back in with ourselves and make sure that we are aligned with ourselves. Because we can't make clear decisions. We can't make the right decisions for ourselves. We can't make decisions that lead to us actually being happy until we do. Five of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Well, that came out in the reverse. So Five of Pentacles is about loss. Nine of Wands in the reverse is a struggle to get back up again. Loss of hope. Lack of persistence. And told me to check the bottom of the deck, and I got Justice and the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, and then the Star. Justice, again, is about making a decision. Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles are also about being at a crossroads, the juggling two pentacles. Which one is better? Two of Wands, which way should I go? But Justice feels aligned with the Star. And the Star is something that you can't find until you dig deep within yourself and operate from a place of authenticity. But how can we be authentic when we don't know who we are? When we don't know what makes us valuable? When we don't know who we are as a person? And how can we relate to others in healthy ways unless we know who we are? If we aren't solid within ourselves, we easily meld into others and let others meld into us. Do you tend to lose your identity every time you connect with someone else? Air signs are prone to that, So, any advice? Five of Wands, conflict. Four of Pentacles. It's kind of a holding onto your resources, very closed, very grabby kind of vibe. 10 of Pentacles. Basically, what I'm hearing with this is don't fight what you feel. Six of Pentacles, Daughter of Pentacles. Don't fight what you feel. And also, let go of the previous versions of yourself, because the Pentacles is all about stability. It's about material too, but it's all about stability. And sometimes what we set our stability on is not actually even stable. Sometimes what we set our stability on is inauthentic. And we identify ourselves with certain keywords, certain traits that aren't really who we are, nor is it who we want to be. Eight of Pentacles, I usually call this my sit and wait card, because spiders are ambush predators. They set up their web, they sit there, they wait. Prey comes to them. But it is also a card about mastery, mastering your craft, the mastery of self. Master yourself, find yourself, figure yourself out, so that you don't lose yourself in others. You don't find yourself becoming something or someone that you don't recognize. Well, Aquarius, I'm happy to see that it looks like you are finally starting to be more feely, less thinky. And may your heart compass guide you to the right direction. Lastly, we shall see if the pendulum has any words. V, U, L, N, E, R, A, B, L, E. Vulnerable. So, I don't know who needed that keyword or if that rung a bell in anyone, but we got vulnerable. Well, if you liked what you saw here today, if you feel, please feel free to like, share, comment to help me out with the algorithm, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video, and I will see you in the next one.